So once you have all your disclosures and reports to send to the seller, you can go ahead and get them ready to be sent out for review and signing. So the way I like to do it is I like to separate the disclosures in two different packets. So what I'll do is I'll send the car forms in one email. So these are all the car forms. And then you'll go to eSign to create the first one. And here I'll label these disclosures as packet number one, sellers, disclosures, and reports. Then we create that. So here are the forms that you're going to be sending out. So next you'll add the participants from the transaction, which is going to be you and your sellers. So in this case, we check both boxes for you and the sellers. Select. This, we can leave that unchecked. That way, this is only used if you want to have an order of signing. So if you want to have signing done by 1, 2, and 3 in that order, you can click that and that'll give it an order. But in 99% of the cases, you don't want that. You want him to get those disclosures, review them, and sign them. Same for you. So so as you can see in most of these forms, the names and signature boxes are populated automatically. But in some cases, I don't know why, they are not. One example is in the Avid report, your Avid. For some reason, it doesn't populate your name and date. So in this case, you will have to add it manually. And to do that, you go to Tools. And you'll select who you want to sign that portion of the document. So here you click on your name, and to add the signature, you drag this over. The date is going to be right next to it, but what I usually do, I just put in the date line to be done there, to be shown on the date. So if it doesn't populate, and what you need to do is review the forms to make sure that the signature boxes are populated. So once you make sure that every box is populated, and in case you have to do it manually, you can do so. And you can say you have to add the buyer, in this case, just an example. Let me do the seller. So you have John Smith. So what you want to do is include their, click down on the drop box, who you want to sign in that particular line. You drag the sign here box, and then you put the date on the on that line for the date. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and click next. And once you click send, it's going to send it to your client and yourself to review and sign. So we'll go ahead and send. Let me go to my email. You will have that email for you to do your signing on those forms. So here you get the email, you click start signing, and it'll take you to all the forms that you sent out. And they are labeled packet number 1, sellers, disclosures, and reports. So here you click I accept, acknowledge, and then you click start, and you just click, and then make sure that you click this last box, complete signing. Okay. for the next packet, the next portion of the forms, these, since you uploaded all these forms, these are not the card forms, you will have to include the signature box in all of these forms. So we'll go ahead and click all of these disclosures and reports. Go to the e-sign icon and go ahead and label it as packet number 2, sellers disclosures and reports. So you go ahead and create it. So here, all the forms that you created that are not the card forms are going to be here. You can put them in order if you wish. Say, for example, you want the prelim to be the first document for them to review. You can go up to number 1. The natural hazard disclosure, if you want it to be up on the top. So you can put it as number 2, and it'll be organized in the way you want it. In this case, I would make the document that has the most pages, which is the consumer booklet has about 143 pages. So I make that the last one, so that all you have to do is worry about signing the first page, and you don't have to sign. You don't have to look for the signature line or create the signature box at the end of the document. So as you can see, this is the consumer booklet. It has hundreds of pages. So what we'll do is we'll put it at the very bottom. So here, the signers again are going to be you and your client. So you add it from transaction, you click on both boxes to select. So then you start looking for the signature lines. You have the seller. So you go to Tools, and you go from the click box. You click the box to select who's going to be the signer. So in this case, you want to. I usually have the seller first to populate all the boxes for them. So I click here, drag it over. That's for the title report. So then I go to the next one. So then we go next to the next document, which is the natural hazard disclosure. And here we find the lines where we need to include the signatures. So we go to Tools. So we have John Smith, sign here. Drag it over, and move the date box to the correct location. You can also include your name if you want to. It's just a lot of switching back and forth. You can, for the agent name, signature, do the same. Again, I usually have the seller boxes completed first, and then I'll complete mine secondly. So here you have John Smith. So you drag over the name, the signature box, and the date. And that is it for that form. Here we have the signature for him, for the seller. Here we drag over the signature box, and we just put the date on the correct line. On the next page, so you drag over the signature box, then you move over the date box where it needs to go, and here you go ahead and click, bring it over, and then put the date in the correct box. So you do the same thing for all of the documents. Make sure that you get them all, otherwise you're going to have to redo it if you miss any pages and they don't sign. So make sure you double check that you have included the signature and the date in the correct box. So after completing the boxes for the sellers to sign, then you go to the signing tools and then you click on your name, and then you drag over the signature box and just place the date on the correct location. And then you do that with all the documents. Again, make sure that you put the correct box on the right location. Listing agent signature and date. So then what you do next, you click the box that says next, and that is going to create the email to send to the sellers and you. So next you go to your email and then you check to see if they have been sent to you for signature, and there it is, packet number 2, and you follow the same steps. You accept, click start, and then you just click the boxes and complete signing, and that's it. So by now you should have all the forms completed and sent to your client, and then once you receive the documents, you're going to see something like this that says complete. Let me show you. Then you'll be receiving a document that says the documents are complete and they're signed. So in this case, this is a form that I sent to a client. So what I usually do, I click on each one of the disclosures that I get back. I click on it. Then what I do, I go ahead and click the print button, because that's going to allow you to save it. It's a process, but once you do it once or twice, it'll be much easier. But make sure that it's saved as PDF and you don't print it to your home printer or another printer that you have set up. So save as PDF, and then you can go save it in your folder.